Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Sri Tips here, and we've got a batch of karat gold. This is 14K stuff, and you can see we have 71.5 grams of 14K. Zero to scale. We've got some 10K stuff in here, and you can see we have 56.4 grams of 10K. And then in my last video, everyone pointed out this little speck of gold that adhered to the pour spout on the melt dish, and it was about half a gram, I think. Yeah, about a half a gram of pure gold. We're just going to throw that in. Or calculated that I need 126 grams of sterling silver. But instead of using sterling this time, I think what we'll do, I've got some cement silver here, and we're going to use cement silver to quart this gold. Everyone has asked about that, so we're going to use some cement silver. Let's see what I need. 126. $16. There's 127.2. That'll do just fine. So now let's go out to the melt table, and we'll quart this karat gold with this silver. I've transferred the quarted gold into a beaker. Now that we've got the alloy down to about 25% pure gold, what we can do is start pulling the silver and the base metals out with dilute nitric acid. I'm adding some distilled water. With the gold concentration in that alloy down around 25% or 6K gold, now we can use nitric acid to pull the silver and the base metals out of here and leave the gold behind as high purity gold after these nitric boils are complete. I stopped the time lapse so that you can see what I'm doing here. These are pieces of sterling silver that I've burned, adding these to my silver jar. And what we'll do is that will consume the excess nitric acid that's left in here. Now the reason I do these small nitric boils like this is because the fresh acid added to the gold does a much better job of pulling the silver and the base metals out of the quarted gold. So I do small nitric acid boils instead of one large one. Someone suggested I do one large nitric acid boil, but it's better to do many small nitric acid boils. What we'll do is add some water, back up on the heat. I'll add another dose of nitric acid. The fresh acid does a better job of penetrating deep into each piece of quarted gold, so that's why we add fresh acid periodically with these small nitric acid boils. This is our 5th nitric boil. It does have just a touch of color in there, but I think it's safe to conclude that we've got all the silver and base metals pulled out of here. So now what we'll do, I'm going to give it a quick boil in some distilled water. Let's pour off this water boil. Set the gold on this heater. And I'll add a slug of hydrochloric acid, about 250 milliliters or so, I guess. Maybe 300. Put in a shot of sulfuric acid precipitate out any lead that may be present. Now I'll add some nitric acid to form aqua regia in the beaker, and we'll dissolve the gold with some aqua regia. Alright, that was 7 3-milliliter doses of nitric acid. I'm going to cover this up now with a lid. We're going to turn on some heat, and we're going to dissolve the gold with aqua regia. I think I've got everything to go into solution now. What we'll do is pull this down off the heat and let it cool down. Let's reach in here and get us a stannous test. And as you can see by that test, we've got no gold in solution. This has got a little color to it. Might have some platinum group metals traces. I'm going to pour this into my stock pot. Now what we'll do is add some distilled water. I'm going to set it up here on the heat. We're going to boil it multiple times in distilled water. This is my normal waste container. It's full, so what we'll do is pour this solution off into my stock pot. Now we'll get this out of here. Let's get this out of here. It's starting to pop a little bit. This should be some very high purity gold right here. Single refining. But it looks pretty good down in that beaker. I'm adding hydrochloric acid to the gold. Now we're going to put it up on the heater. We're going to dissolve the gold a second time. As usual, a few drops of sulfuric acid to take care of any lead that may be present. Not much, just a little bit. And now I'll add some nitric acid. That was 7 3-milliliter doses of nitric acid. taking this down off the heat. I'll let it cool off now. Now what we'll do is a little experiment. I don't know, I can't think of any reason why anybody would want to do this. I just want to do it to see what's going to happen. It's a piece of zinc here. And we're going to put a piece of zinc in a beaker. Now what I'll do is grab some of the chloroauric acid solution. We'll put it in here with the zinc. And we're going to see what happens. See if we can cement the gold out of the solution on this piece of zinc. See what happens. How about that? I think the gold does look like the gold is coming out of solution on that. The gold did come out of solution. That piece of zinc don't look too bad actually. So I wanted to try it on a little portion before I went all in. So now what we're going to do, let's go ahead and transfer our gold solution to this large beaker. Got a larger piece of zinc here. I'm just going to go ahead and drop this in now and let the gold come out of solution on this piece of zinc. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's really reacting vigorously. How about that, man? That gold came out of solution onto that zinc. Let me reach in here and get some of the solution. Still got gold in it, I can tell by the color of it. Let's just verify that with some stannous chloride testing solution. Boom, you can see we got lots of gold in solution still. Here's our little experiment. What I'll do is add that right on in. Gold stopped reacting. There's still a piece of zinc in there. I think that's zinc. Looks like zinc. Might be a might be a coating of gold that formed on the zinc as the zinc dissolved completely. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. I've got a glass rod in here. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, that's just gold now. All the zinc is gone. That's just flakes of pure gold. that have come out of solution on that zinc. That is incredible. I've got another piece of zinc here. I'm going to drop it in, and it immediately begins to react vigorously. Hey, you can see our piece of zinc right there reacting. What I'll do is I'll just keep adding small pieces of zinc in here, and until the color of the solution changes. Well, that was fascinating to watch. Let me reach down in here, get a status test, see if we've got all the gold precipitated yet. And I'd say yes, we do. Let me reach down in here and get this piece of zinc out of here. Come here, you. It's got a little bit of residual gold on it. That's okay. I'll put that in my stock pot. We'll get that, any gold that's on there, off of there in my stock pot. I'm fairly certain that gold in there is going to be high purity gold. So what we'll do is we'll come down here, we'll get set up and rinse this off. Let's pour off this waste solution. Add some distilled water to this. And we'll do multiple distilled water boils. I've had this on boiling, multiple distilled water boils, a hydrochloric acid boil in between. They've been stirring it. See if we can get all the stuff rinsed off of here. And here's what the gold looks like down in there. And I gotta tell you, for being cemented on zinc, it looks pretty good. Let's transfer the gold into a dish. Put it in a on a hot plate, dry it out. Allowed it to cool completely. Let's go ahead and transfer the gold into a melt dish. Oh yeah, it looks really good. I'm surprised at how good this gold looks after being cemented on zinc. It's just incredible. Let's take our gold. We're going to melt an ingot. I'm going to start out with a very, very low flame here until we form a crust so we don't blow any of the gold powder out of the melt dish. Alright, let's put some flame on it now. Yeah, it's going to have a crust on it. I can tell by the way it's melting from the zinc, any residual zinc that was in there. It's going to have a crust on it. That's okay. Got a little clinger on here again. It's a little piece of gold that's stuck to the lip of the melt dish. Here's our gold bar that we just melted. Obvious contamination. I probably could have got rid of that by refining it a third time. But I was interested in seeing how the gold would look after that zinc reaction. That thing was awesome. That was pretty cool. I would not recommend using zinc as a method for precipitating out gold. It's not selective. In other words, any metal below zinc in the reactivity series will cement out and contaminate the gold. So it's not a good method to use to precipitate out our gold. We're expecting 65.1 grams. We got 64.5 grams. And I must say, I was very, how do I say it, surprised at how that gold came out of solution on those pieces of zinc. Okay, this will conclude the video. Thank you for watching.